and Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
DBU on 312. We are brought to you by Chicago Window Guys. Call 847-302-9171. Don't wait. Do this. Call Russ Armstrong and check out his 5-star reviews at ChicagoWindowGuys.com. You know, I could bury this. I could wait and say, hey, let's do sports, because sports is so important and we love sports. And you got to take care of the talk sports. Stop talking hockey, people. But I can't do that. I cannot bury the lead because thank you, by the way, to any and all who have sent this story along. And my first thought was, this story is not real. This didn't happen. It didn't happen where they said it happened. But there is enough evidence to realize now there is photographic evidence. We have actual legal documents that are in the public record. So apparently this happened in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm going to bring you the version as reported by the New York Post because, yeah, the New York Post is icky, but when it comes to stories like this, I don't know if there ever is a headline going to top headless body and topless bar. But when I saw this headline and this lead, I figured that there is only one publication that is qualified to handle it as appropriately as they did. His arson plan was a bunch of junk. A firebug in Indiana cut off his own penis, dumped gasoline on it, then used it to light a blaze inside a neighbor's garage, according to police. Okay, let's stop right there. The way this is phrased, that he used it to light a blaze inside a neighbor's garage, at this point, I have this man wielding it like a torch. Okay, so you now that you have allowed my brain to get to work on the story. So I have this, we're somewhere in Indiana. I'm picturing perhaps Porter County, angry about the Bears tax. Just can't believe, wait a second, all of my food and drink and entertainment is now being taxed to build. I'm angry. Woof. Sabers the thing off, dumps just the tip in gasoline, lights it on fire, and then walks around setting his neighbor's garage on fire at various points. So I read on. So I continue. I read on. Christopher Peden, P-E-D-E-N. What's worse, Peden or Pedin? Either one's not great. Chris, 36, of Fort Wayne. So it didn't take place in Porter County. This is where we're talking about the proud metropolis of Fort Wayne, Indiana, the former home of the Fort Wayne Fury. Allegedly copped to giving himself the shaft after first claiming he was stabbed, according to court documents. Boy. Fox 59 in Fort Wayne reported that Pedden told cops he harmed himself inside the garage in Fort Wayne by cutting off his penis with a kitchen knife on May 6th. And then...
Hope it's not a butter knife.
Then they show the mugshot. And I will say that when I see the mugshot there, this is what I found in my own research. You know how our... in like middle school and in high school, they do senior predictions.
Yeah.
And I remember mine. I kept mine when they did senior predictions. And
what was yours?
Mine,
most likely to be a penis?
Mine will be, I think, elected to the U.S. Senate.
Oh, yes, Senate. Okay.
Because they knew that I was just probably talkative and slimy enough.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, that's what they said. But I checked in his yearbook, this Christopher Pedden, I'll say they nailed it. They absolutely nailed his senior prediction. Because he was voted most likely to cut off his penis with a kitchen knife and use it to set somebody's garage on fire. So good job. Good job, senior class. So during the totally nuts kindling plan, say it with me, yar, he poured gasoline on his severed genitals and set it on fire on the floor of the garage just inside the door, according to court documents cited by Fox 59. When Pedden later ran into police, now he didn't call the police, he just also coincidentally ran into the police. He claimed he'd been slashed in the city's downtown area, according to the court documents, of course.
Or did he tell the police he was slashed in his downtown area?
Now, see, but this is the infamous dangerous penis slashing district. You got to stay out of there in Fort Wayne. And believe me, I've spent quality time, if such a thing is possible, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They got a lot of money in Fort Wayne, Indiana, because there used to be a collection of nightclubs that were in this sort of one area, and it was almost like this dream state. I remember that they were all kind of connected, and there were different kinds of bars, and you would go to basically this one sort of entertainment district. I think that's also where the infamous penis slashing district is. And you've got to be careful because there's people there with various cutting implements. They've got, nail clippers and hedge trimmers and oh yeah, bad chainsaws. You don't know what you're going to run into there because they're always coming after you. As soon as you get out of your car, you gotta have your head on a swivel. So he said that's what happened. That's what he claimed. He was slashed in the city's downtown area, but he soon copped to being dishonest about the stabbing, and he told investigators he wanted to be truthful. Investigators collected evidence from the garage, including a red plastic gas container, 4 lighters, and a kitchen knife. They didn't say the kitchen knife, but they said a kitchen knife. Pedden was charged with arson and is due in court next week. Now, I guarantee you the guy is, he's probably emailed us before. There's no question this was an avid DBU listener. I'm sure. But this is, what are you doing today, honey? Oh, not much. What time are you going to be home? I'll probably be home around 6. I'm going to stop at the store. I know you need pasta, so I'm going to get that. I think we need coffee creamer. I'll see you then. So what do you do? Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to run out. I got to stop at CVS, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to cut my penis off, and I'm going to set it on fire in someone else's garage. Okay, see you at 6. That's a day. I would say have yourself a day. Go ahead. Enjoy. These are our Indiana people, and he looks regretful in his picture.
His mugshot, you're saying?
Yeah.
Here, go with me on this for a second. When the made-for-TV movie comes out,
who would play him?
Go with me on this. He might have put a little bit weight on, but you could do the hair. He has a beard going. Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, skinny Jonah Hill. He could. I don't know that he could. That it's the right casting choice though for his.
Why? Do you think he's not a serious enough actor? Doesn't have the chops for it?
I don't know. This is going to take something pretty special because we're going to need a backstory here. This is the end of the movie. This is the end.
All right. How does Mr. Pedden? What is it? Pedden?
I don't know.
How does he get to this? Like, what drives him to this? Was there a dispute with the neighbor? Is there?
No, I still think it has to do somehow with Indiana tax money being used to benefit the Bears.
Maybe the neighbor supported it, and Pete.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you. You are going to come home. You're going to open your garage. It smells like someone else's burned penis in here. I know that smell anywhere. Oh, well, yep, sure enough. There it is. Like, did he just leave it? Was it inside a pentagram? I want
to know the reason why. Maybe the neighbor had a band and he practiced in the garage.
I'll show
and it was
you.
always loud, and it was always late at night. They always fought about it. He complained, turn down that damn rock and roll music.
Yeah, but the good thing is his burning desire to be truthful. I was not attacked in the city's downtown area. Nobody came up to me and said, your money or your dongle.
All right, we're missing something though.
Yes.
All right,
we could be missing a lot.
He makes the decision. He's going to set the neighbor's garage on fire.
Well, no,
I don't. And he says, wait, I need something to start it. I need
kindling.
Something. Yes. What do I have around the house that I could use?
You know why? Because most people have canceled their newspaper subscriptions. Most people, it used to be, what would you do? You go get the newspaper, you crumble it up. There's your kindling. You would always do that,
Does he live with his mom?
I don't know.
Okay. If he lives with a parent, I'm going to say chances are Indiana, what are we saying? Lake County, Porter County. What did you say?
No, Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne. Good chances that there's old TV guides somewhere around the house.
National Geographics.
Yes. He probably could have just got inside and taken one of those. But were they glossy? Like the National Geographic was glossy. Did those light as well?
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, you get like the weird smell from that. Yeah, you don't want that. But this was, and I'm looking at all the different reporting. Now, there's more here. This is from some wire service copy. He's facing up to 12 years in prison after being charged with arson. Per the report, Fort Wayne firefighters were dispatched to both a garage fire and reports of a stabbing. Initially, Pedden told police he was stabbed and had been threatened the day before. We don't know if that's true. It was the officer at the hospital that he told then that he lied. I don't know what he needed 4 lighters for, but now here's what's interesting. Court records do not detail whether or not the genitals were located. So they found the gas can. They found the lighters. They found the kitchen knife. He claimed that he poured gasoline on his wiener and set it on fire after he'd cut it off. That's what he claimed. I just, this now come to think of it, it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the politicians involved in Indiana's Bears effort. I think he might be actually the representative that's there at the table. Maybe he's the one who's walking around testing the soil. Maybe he sort of commandeered the giant soil testing machines, and
maybe he has some of the out of the box thinking type soil testing.
Right. He's going to really say, and then it's a longer term experiment to see what the effect is on his severed member. Say, well, yeah, it's not good. There's way too much human waste and slag and PCBs or whatever it might be that is in this soil. So I could not bury this. This, I think, is the story of the year. I want to know more about this man. I want to know more about the reasoning behind it. I would like to know if there is if there's just more facts here, and then when I did a search for Christopher Pedden or Peden, one of the things that comes up is that he is a goalkeeper for Spartans FC. I don't think it's the same guy, is it? I don't think so. And there was a kid on Perfect Game who apparently was a high school baseball player, but that was in Alpharetta, Georgia. I don't think it's the same guy, but we need to know. We need to find out. There is a LinkedIn page for Christopher Peden in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And it says that he's a researcher at Plastic Executive Recruiters and has a bachelor's degree from esteemed Division III University, DePauw University. I don't know. I think I'd like to know in what he majored, perhaps. But that's a rough day for that man. And we at 312 Sports and at Dan Bernstein Unfiltered, wish him nothing but the best. but man, I first thought this isn't real. This is something that somebody sent me, and it's not real. And then other people sent it, and I said, okay, there's got to be something to this. And then I checked, and indeed, in Fort and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Fort Wayne the location of the Harry Balls Center?
Oh, I think you're right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think you're right on that, right?
Remember, do you remember the American politician Harry Balls? He was mayor of Fort Wayne, was he not? Yes, he was. There it is. Harry William Balls was an American politician, a member of the Republican Party. He was the mayor of Fort Wayne from 1934 to 1947 and from 1951 until his death in 1954. All right. Fort Wayne newscaster Bob Chase once mispronounced the mayor's name as Bales, and Balls personally called Chase to correct the pronunciation, saying, "Son, this is your mayor. I pronounce my name Balls." Balls' descendants have taken to pronouncing their name Bales. Probably.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, and you can his Fort Wayne officials have shied away from naming streets and buildings after him, even though Harry Balls Drive was named in his honor. It extends east from Parnell Avenue. And they proposed this is 2011, they proposed the Harry Balls Government Center.
Not a requirement for entry, though. It's just the name of the building.
The city's deputy mayor, Beth Malloy, said, "We realize that while Harry Balls was a respected mayor, not everyone outside of Fort Wayne will know that. We wanted to pick something that will reflect our pride in our community beyond the boundaries of Fort Wayne." So they announced the building would be named Citizens Square.
Aw. I like
That's
Harry
too bad.
Balls Center.
I like the Harry Balls Center. And I think at the Harry Balls Center, they can commemorate the actions of Christopher Pete. Now, I do believe that he should be with Mike Vrabel at Wiener Counseling, because when you're in the room at group, when you are introducing yourself, and he can say, "My name is Mike Vrabel, and I have a wandering wiener, and hi, like, and he can speak his truth." That I think Christopher Peden can make everybody feel, well, at least you're not that guy. We talk about hitting rock bottom, and that's the time when you have to go to Wiener Counseling with Mike Vrabel. But I think when Christopher Peden stands up and gives his testimony, Mike Vrabel kind of look over. I got my issues, but at least I'm not that guy. At least, and then in the corner, Brian Flores in his swarming D. He can say, I've got my own issues. That's why we're all here, to support each other and be there for each other in these trying times in America. Speaking of which, I mentioned I have been watching these soccer games. I happened to be on Telemundo early on in this tournament, and I've stayed there because I have flipped back and forth early on, and I didn't like the Fox coverage as much. I didn't like the direction. I didn't like how they would choose to constantly be cutting away to crowd shots at important times in the game. They took breaks during the hydration break when it was more important to see what teams were doing, who was talking to whom. Well, the actual coverage of the football is way better on Telemundo. The excitement level is better, and you don't have the Foxness of it. Especially whatever that Alexi Lalas thing is, where he appears to be performing like the Stephen Colbert character, like just a bloviating idiot, where I don't know if it's real. I don't know if they just asked him to do this. I don't know what they're doing, but he's clearly playing a character. It's like a cross between Ron Burgundy and Alex Jones and something else. It's just incredibly off-putting. So I went away from that. It's also off-putting, but I like pudding. But I don't mind every so often a nice big bowl like that. They used to have at the KFC when they did the buffet. You ever remember the KFC buffet?
I
run into one
don't
of
at
those?
KFC. I
Oh,
don't.
Platteville had the whole buffet.
Really?
Chicken, yeah, gizzards, like livers and gizzards and green beans and corn, and then you would go and they had the chocolate pudding. It was terrific. Loved it. You'd finish off a bit. That's back when I like ate, and I ate like 3 Thanksgiving meals a day, no matter what it was. I loved it there.
Do you like tapioca?
Sure, everyone. My mom used to make tapioca pudding in these nice little like martini glasses kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great one the other night at Lake Colonial in Lake Forest. Dude.
Oh, not La Colonial down here.
No, but it's the
is
same
it the
restaurant.
same?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have multiple locations.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, the Lake Forest one obviously is very easy for us to get to than
Sure.
going downtown. And dude, we had this tapioca pudding dessert. Unreal.
Yeah, well, the kids like it now. They know it as boba in the boba tea.
Oh, the boba drinks. Yeah,
that's just tapioca. It's just bigger pearls of it.
Yeah, Jackie loves that stuff. The boba milk tea things.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Same kind of thing. So I did not know that the idea of people who don't speak Spanish as a first language have been watching games. And then finally I heard a report on NPR where people were just saying like, yeah, it's capturing the feeling. It's capturing the excitement. I don't understand what they're saying and it doesn't matter because it's better that way. I understand every so often I can, my ear for Spanish has actually gotten a little better from watching some of this. So every once in a while I'll pick something up. It just sort of soaks in, but I can't keep up with how rapidamente Andy Cantor's talking. But Telemundo, this according to Awful Announcing, Telemundo's effort to bring English speakers to the network for its World Cup coverage is reportedly causing some tension between Fox, the English language rights holder, and NBC Universal, which owns Telemundo. In a report outlining media companies interested in securing rights to the 2030 and 2034 World Cups, CNBC reporter Alex Sherman noted that FIFA may choose to package English and Spanish language rights together for one media partner rather than splitting the rights in two to eliminate some tensions between rival media companies airing the same games. Telemundo, they say, has claimed some unknown population of English speakers who are watching the games via Peacock, which has dampened Fox's potential World Cup reach. Well, it's dampened it because people have sampled Fox. They're making a choice. That's what I don't think Fox is realizing. This isn't accidental. It isn't as if they're not finding them. They're choosing Telemundo. I am a perfect example of that. It just feels more fun. The network, Telemundo, has tapped actor Owen Wilson, who is not Latino nor known to speak Spanish, for an ad campaign. A Telemundo announcer even broke into English during a recent match, thanking non-Spanish speaking viewers for tuning in. The trend isn't all that surprising. Viewers who consume content solely through streaming rather than a traditional multi-channel package or antenna can purchase a Peacock subscription for $10.99 a month and access every game. Fox One, $19.99 per month. Now, here's where I come in, because it says outside of price, there seems to be a cohort of English-speaking viewers that simply prefer Telemundo's coverage to Fox's. Yeah, that's what it is. And I don't know if a major media company is going to want to bid for both tied together. I think they're probably going to end up splitting it off. But I've absolutely been enjoying it much more with the Telemundo coverage. They just seem to be, what can I say? It's a vibe. It's a vibe. And it's just a much better vibe. It doesn't have, and maybe the jingoism will be gone. Maybe Fox will be okay once they aren't doing all of the flag humping.
Mm-hmm. When it's just about the football.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that, but Alexi Lalas is just such a turnoff. You see him and you want to leave. It's kind of like I noticed this last night when I was flipping between the Cubs and White Sox. And baseball is a hang. A baseball television broadcast is a hang. And the Sox broadcast with Schriffen and Stone is just, it's a rough hang. I don't want to hang out with John Schriffen. I don't, that's a person you're hanging out with. That's a person in your house, in the room with you. Every time they go to Connor, and I'm like, oh yeah. Why isn't it just Connor and Steve Stone? And then I can hang out with people I like, with friends of mine in my house, because it's so much nicer. And then you turn on the Cubs game, and the one thing they are is easy on the ears. It more than, and you learn about baseball, and it's just an easy hang with Boog and JD. And in my, like I say, the JD call is aging with me like a fine whiskey. Like he is like a 25-year-old single malt scotch at this point. And Boog is one of his best traits. And Boog knows baseball, and he knows how to set up JD. He keeps you on the game, but he's also exceptionally easy on the ears. He just sounds great. He sometimes with Boog, I think I'm listening to like a crooner talking to you in between songs. Like giving you the backstory. It's like an easy night at a jazz club, and the guy's doing jazz standards, and then he's telling you little anecdotes about his long history on the road, or telling you stories about the people who wrote the song or where he first heard the song. And you're sipping a drink, and you're dressed nice, and it just that's kind of how it feels. Or like, I don't know, or like Harry Connick Jr. or somebody like that. Sitting behind.
No, I think that's a good analogy, just like between songs talking about stuff. But then they also, I think this is good too, because I watch enough out of town baseball. They incorporate Taylor McGregor really well,
and
there's a really nice flow, but she adds a lot to it. It's more than just, oh hey, look, let's go down to the field level, and our reporter there. I mean, she adds to the broadcast and your knowledge of what you're watching within the game, which is, I mean, they do a really good job with that.
Yep.
Which is why it's frustrating with the studio stuff, but we'll leave that for another time.
Yeah, it doesn't match. It's not up to the par of the broadcast. It really just none of it is. And it's the opposite, I think, when it comes to some of the White Sox games. Although Stoney was cracking me up last night when the catcher for the Red Sox took a one hopper right in the old Sackaroonie, and they watch the replay, and Steve says when you start playing baseball, you can make a lot of choices about the positions that you play, and the one thing about playing that position is you have to deal with these. and as he's saying it, it's a no good. And that's I think that's sort of become a theme of today's episode of DBU. But I have yet to see a catcher who becomes angry enough to respond similar. That's it. I'm cutting it all off and I'm setting it on fire. Oh, did he give him a hot foot? Oh no.
A lot worse than a hot foot.
No, he didn't. This is he's taking it to it.
Yeah, if they start doing that in the dugout, man, that's going to be a real problem in the clubhouse.
The old fun and games. Yes. You can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Let's check out the hijinks going on in the dugout. Here's Jay Johnstone, and look at, oh my God! No, don't do it.
Well, you're like, hey, Skip, why was your team fighting in the dugout? Well, one guy set another guy's penis on fire.
Yeah, it's baseball. Those things happen over the course. It's 162 games.
Took a joke too far.
Those things happen over the course of a season. Boy, I can tell you, every once in a while. I think it happened to us back in the old, in Midland, the old Texas League. We had a couple guys cut their dicks off and set it on fire. Baseball's gonna baseball, and that kind of thing just goes on. So did I see this right, that Connor Bedard had shoulder surgery and they won't tell us what the shoulder surgery was?
Yes.
Okay. It would. And in hockey, the reporters don't really try to find that stuff out. Is that right? Or do they try?
Yeah, they never really get detailed with injuries. They never have though.
Well,
upper body, lower body.
They used to, but
it was it was upper body, lower body.
It just sucks. So now Bedard is going to miss the first month of the season. I mean, it's not. I don't really care, but what I do care is about wasted potential and about hoping for greatness and not getting greatness. And that's my bottom line with Bedard. He was supposed to be great, generational, whatever you want to say. The same year as Victor Wembanyama, and if these are two respective players in their sports that are going to change the game. And the Blackhawks, all that losing was for this, and now he hurt his other shoulder, and now he's going to miss a month. And I'm just waiting for call me when the greatness starts. Call me when you cannot take your eyes off it, because I thought that's what we had. I thought it's what we had. Watching him rookie year and seeing him move and seeing the quickness of that shot and the fact that he can release that shot from all sorts of tight angles and in the blink of an eye and be able in such a short area to create such force behind it, not to mention the pinpoint passes he's putting on the skate blades through people's legs. Let's go. Let's have that. We're 3 years in now?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. And they say, well, you got to get him better line mates. If there's greatness here, it doesn't matter who your line mates are. It doesn't matter. He'll bounce it off somebody's head into the goal. If there's greatness here, I just want to see it. That's all I ask. Injuries, line mates, all these other reasons, coaching. I just want him to start to be great. And I the one game I went to last year, the other team, the Sharks, had the other guy, and I saw it from that guy.
That's right.
Celebrini?
Sure.
Macklin Celebrini? I saw some of that. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. Young in every play. Can't take your eyes off him. That they're switching up lines to try to match him. Everybody's reacting to where he is all the time, and he's still affecting the play. He's still scoring points and goals and assists and all that. I get it. I didn't need much for me to get interested in how greatness will do it. A single great player and watching what they do will help me to that end, and it should be enough that your team is good because you have a guy like that on it. So the sooner they can make that happen, the happier I am going to be. You know what can make you happy and improve your life greatly? Get real windows in your house instead of the crap that the initial builder put in there. Or maybe you bought an old house and the windows are really old and there's all sorts of drafts, or they stick when they go up, or they don't lock properly. All the reasons to get new windows. The primary reason is for the heating and cooling efficiency purposes, just to make sure that you're not spending money you don't need to spend to heat and or cool your home. Well, Chicago Window Guys can set you up with low emissivity, double paned windows. There's special treatment on them to make them reflect all of the inside temperature back in rather than let it out. And Russ Armstrong of Chicago Window Guys explained this to me, and he looked at my windows and he said, come over here. Let me show you something about the windows that you have. You see the rust in there and that metal spacer from condensation, or this one's got a blown seal, and that one, there's what the start of what could end up being a crack on the corner of that window. Crack! And I said, well, I didn't know any of this. Okay, what do we do? And he's like, well, let's get a bunch of new windows. I said, okay. And he said, what kind of windows do you want? I said, Russ, I don't know anything about windows, because there were all these different brochures, and he was explaining what he can do at his factory. And I said, I trust you. Let's get a number. Let's get some windows, and then I'm just going to leave it to you. And he can do that. Or if you are really interested and you want to go through those brochures and say, I want this window here and this here and this here, and you know your stuff and you've got some big changes you want to make, he can do whatever you want anywhere along that continuum. There's no subcontracted labor. His crews work for him. The same people that installed my windows are going to install yours. Everything's locally made here in Chicago. He will match any price, and there is a lifetime guarantee on all parts and labor. So call him. 847-302-9171. Check out his 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com. You mentioned something to me yesterday that you said, like I say, you're in charge of the Cubs radio broadcasts here. I know that's your primary way of
a lot of the times, yes. I'm in the car
because you're out and around.
We go on walks with the dogs, and I listen to the radio. So yeah, I listen to the radio a lot more than you and Cody for Off the Ivy. Yeah.
So you mentioned something to me that Pat and Ron last night were doing comps for PCA. Like he had 2 home runs last night, and every time there's a ball hit to center field, it's like, ooh, something fun's going to happen.
Yeah, it was Pat started it, and
okay.
he said, Ronnie, I've seen a lot of baseball players, a lot of center fielders, and there's one guy that comes to mind when I see what PCA has, and they're talking about his 5-tool ability.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was curious to see what, Ron, older guy, and all the years of baseball, or Pat, I'm sorry, the older guy, all the years of baseball that he's watched. And he said he brought up the name of Willie Mays. And Ron Coomer, Pat was like, I'll give you a few minutes to think about who you could compare him to. And Coomer said, well, a guy in my draft class is the first name that came to his mind. And that was Ken Griffey Jr.
That was Coomer's draft class?
That's what he said, yeah.
Watershed draft class for me. That's when someone my age was taken first overall. I'm like, I'm now.
Oh, really? Okay.
What year was it? Wasn't it 18? So that was, I think I was also 18. So that would be 87.
87, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, June 2nd, 87.
Yep. How old was Coombe? Because he was drafted out of high school, right? Or did he go to college?
I think he was a high school guy, wasn't he?
I think he might have been. And then Coombe was also a Madison Muskie the year, I think, after I left the Madison Muskies, I think is when he was there.
Yeah, he was drafted the 14th round, 354 overall. Oh, out of Taft College in California.
That's okay. So he was older.
Yes. Okay.
He was older. And that was Oakland, right? That took him.
Correct.
Yep. Because he knew a lot of the same guys in that organization, the roving instructors that always came through town. So he's got stories about some of those dudes that I spent some time around. But yeah, so Griffey was his comp, huh?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think that's true. PCA is not as languid. He's not quite as smooth.
So not body style or technique, but all 5 tools, because it's rare to find a guy that can play defense like PCA does, and the speed and stealing bases and the hitting for average and power. So, I think that's more what they were looking for. Center fielders that could do it all.
Yeah, there's more to it, though.
But to say Willie Mays and Ken Griffey Jr.?
Well, JD, this is why I find this really interesting, because I think it was last year that JD, almost against his better judgment, said, as if to himself, he goes, boy, we're there's some Mickey Mantle in here. Or he made the Mantle comp.
Wow.
Talking about, young, fast and powerful, and just tracked everything down out there.
I will say this too, real quick before I forget. You talk about John Shambi and JD on the TV side.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Cubs fan, you are very, very fortunate to have the radio and TV broadcast available to you, because I'm telling you, dude, with what Ron Coomer has developed into.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's awesome.
And you know what he's gotten
so good.
The thing about Coomer is I had a friend say this to me, and I told Coombe this. That he said, if you didn't know that Ron Coomer was a position player, the way he talks about pitching now, you would think it's reasonable that he pitched.
Or was a catcher. Yes, for sure.
His ability to break that down has gone beyond usually what you hear from somebody who comes from the hitting side.
Yeah, dude, he's gotten so good at what he does. And the radio is just so good. The TV is so good. So very fortunate in Chicago if you're a Cubs fan. So sorry, go ahead on that.
Yes. And it was JD who said, boy, there's, some of this stuff reminds you of Mickey Mantle. I forgot exactly how he phrased it, but he knew that he was treading into some deep water there. He did. No, he said it very guardedly, but that the name still got past his lips. And now I don't think we have to apologize for some of these comps. Why shouldn't we do it? And some of it is statistical, and we can always find stat comps. But some of it is just is more about the way he carries himself, and it seems like, at least the way the offense is rolling right now, that he's keying. He's right in the middle of all of this. I had a different thought yesterday. And because of the way this player aged, I think you forget what he was in different incarnations in his career. And this player, when he came up, played a lot of center field. I think in one of the best years with his team, when he was a material player on multiple champions, I think he played at least 100 games in center field early on, around this age.
Let me check.
And yeah, I think there was one regular season. It was either 72 or 73 where he played 90 some games in center field. He ended up moving off of center and playing more of his games in right field as he aged, and his body changed and his game changed. But when he was young, he was one of the fastest players in baseball and most athletic players in baseball. He could. And he still ran okay later in his career, but he was much more of an all-or-nothing power hitter. And it was famous for striking out before we knew strikeouts weren't bad. He was ahead of his time. People say, well, yeah, but he strikes out a lot, not realizing that was just how he made his outs. And PCA, with the confidence, with the bravado, the athleticism, the speed, the power, the inherent excitement of watching him track balls down and patrol center field. I was too young to have seen a lot of it live, but I saw plenty of it later. PCA's got a little young Reggie Jackson in him. That we're talking Oakland Reggie and the three-peat Oakland A's. Their primary center fielder for at least one of those teams was indeed Reggie Jackson. And that with the body language, the confidence, and the overall bravado, the strut with which he plays.
Yeah, no, Dan, you're right. So it was 1977 when he went to the Yankees that he played only right field.
That was after he had the short, it was a 1-year stint with the Orioles.
Yeah.
Before he joined the Yankees.
He played center, he played right.
Yep.
But it was from 67 through
73?
75.
Okay.
That he played a lot of center field.
Yep.
He played both right and center, but yeah, he played center field for the first eight seasons.
That's the guy I'm comping him to. That is
first 9 seasons. Yeah,
that really reminds me of just that the all the tools, and his contact tools probably a little bit better. I'd have to go look at some of those numbers, and Reggie also had slumps.
Yeah, dude, and his third season, his third full season, 1969. He led baseball in strikeouts, but he led baseball in slugging at 608, an OPS of 1018.
Yep.
OPS plus of 189.
Yep.
Aroba of 457. Wow.
Yeah, but how many steals did he have, just out of curiosity?
He had stolen bases. He had, in that year, 69, he had 13 only.
Oh, okay.
But he had 26 and 70. That was one of his higher ones. Yeah, the second, 28 was his high.
They didn't run a lot with those teams because of the slug that those A's teams had. Because you had Joe Rudy and Sal Bando, and you had, other people that were providing Gene Tennis.
Yeah, dude, he 275, 410, 608 that year.
Yep.
That's his third year.
I just want that name mentioned. I just want it, kept in mind when we are talking about people who are much more known as center fielders, that for the first third of his career, that's what Reggie was. And Reggie's demeanor, Reggie's ability to speak and desire to speak was, of course, the term was divisive, only because he was one of the baseball players that forced a lot of people to tell on themselves and how they responded. And, he's a hot dog. That's what I used to say. Reggie Jackson, he's a hot dog. Oh, really? Okay. Is he also awesome at baseball? He might be awesome at baseball, but he's a hot dog. And his teammate, oh God, it was Darryl Knowles, I think, who was later a Cub. Darryl Knowles was the one with the famous quote of, "There ain't enough mustard in the world to cover Reggie Jackson." So is he a hot dog? Like, it was the worst thing you could say about a player at the time. Yeah. No, we don't play the game that way. And to their credit, Charlie Finley and those Oakland A's teams did, and they leaned into it. And Reggie grew the mustache, and Finley's like, "I want everybody on my team to have mustaches because we're the anti-Yankees. We don't care. I don't police facial hair on this team. Go ahead, let your freak flag fly." and they all did, and they became this because they had mustaches. Ooh, scary countercultural post-60s Oakland A's coming to get you with their scary facial hair. My pitching staff, remember? There was the Vita Blue, Kenny Holtzman, Catfish Hunter. That was your first famous closer, really modern, maybe arguably kind of a modern closer in Raleigh Fingers, even though he was getting 3-inning saves. So, yeah, I want that in the conversation. I want it considered that as we are looking for some of these all-time comps, if we can be mentioning Mike Trout, Mickey Mantle, and if the home broadcast is already invoking Willie Mays and Ken Griffey Jr., put Reggie out there. One of my all-time favorite players.
Yeah, Reggie was also, so was that 69? He was a 9.3 WAR player.
Woo! And played himself in Naked Gun. I must kill the queen.
Oh, yeah.
I must kill the queen.
What was he in 68? 68, he was a 5.2. Yeah, so 69, he was, 9.3. Wow.
Right? That's why you win 3 consecutive World Series in 71, 2, and 3? Or 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, and then what is this? Is what year is this for Pete Crow? His third? Interesting.
Well, that's we are seeing some pretty special names when it comes to that guy, and I think his number one age comp at this point is Roger Maris. When I last checked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which Roger Maris was good but not great, but there is no reason to take anything off the table when it comes to that kid right now.
Yeah, as long as he wears the right pants.
If you're just joining us, I think this is worth just a quick revisit. Are the intrepid reporting and research of one Matt Abaticola. We're always complimenting the great baseball minds that lend their information to all of us for use elsewhere, and for whether it's Joe Sheehan, Craig Calcaterra, the statistical work of somebody like Chris Kampka. Matt Abaticola is making a bid to join that club with what he is able to show us here. Can you just quickly repeat the numbers that we did this morning on Off the Ivy so the Dan Bernstein Unfiltered audience can understand the secret of Pete Crow-Armstrong's magic?
Yeah, so Pete Crow started the season wearing jogger pants. And if you don't have kids playing travel baseball these days, there's different types of pants you could wear. The ones that go to the knees, there's the tighter fit around the ankle. They're a little shorter. They call those jogger pants. And then the longer that go over the top of the shoe, the relaxed fit pants. Well, PCA started his season wearing jogger pants. And it stood out to me because I just I don't like the look. And you always saw his blue socks, and they're a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter. And then he switched to relaxed fit pants on April 18th. So I went through and found the exact game. It was a Saturday game at Wrigley against the Pirates. Wearing jogger pants this year, this is what Pete Crow-Armstrong has, how he performed. Batting average of 227, on base of 272, a slug of 293 for an OPS of 565.
That's bad.
It's real bad.
565
is very bad. Slugging of 293. That's terrible.
But then on April 18th, something changed.
His pants changed, and he changed to the relaxed fit pants, which he's been wearing ever since. Since the pant change, he is hitting 316 with an on-base percentage of 415, and he's slugging 724. And his OPS is 1139. He went from slugging 293 to 724 after he changed the pants.
We talked about endorsements in this space yesterday. If he isn't just a walking testimonial for relaxed fit pants being causal, I don't think this is correlative.
No, it's causal.
I think this is causal. I think
I
think having more room for everything to be in its proper place, be where it's supposed to be, to just not have the overall like sunny gray tight pants tension going on there, that he can speak to it. And if they come up with, if Lululemon is able to come up with like a PCA baseball pant, and this is the secret to being successful.
Well, Dan, what do we've talked about what has improved significantly during the course of this season for PCA at the plate? His walk rate.
Yep. Yep.
He takes more pitches. He's not attacking outside the zone. He's better at hitting within the zone, but he's more relaxed. His pants have allowed him to be more relaxed at the plate.
We found it.
That's the secret right there.
You have uncovered something that is inarguable, and I think you deserve proper credit for it. I really do. This is a big day.
All right, buddy. Here's what's left in the World Cup. So you have under the final 8.
Yep.
Today's game is France and Morocco.
Oh, so okay. What time tonight? Is that today or tonight?
That's afternoon, 3:00 game.
Okay, what's tonight? Because if both baseball games are day games,
there's no night game tonight. So you have France and Morocco this afternoon at 3. Tomorrow, on July 10th, that's tomorrow, Friday, at 2 in the afternoon, Spain and Belgium. And then Saturday is the big day. Saturday is when, this is a big day. 4:00, Norway takes on England at 4 p.m. And then the 8 p.m. game is Argentina and Switzerland.
Ooh.
So that's going to get me to a semifinal of Norway and Argentina. Oh my God.
I can't get enough Erling Haaland content.
No, dude, I can't. And then you're going to give me Erling Haaland and Messi in the same game.
Yeah, but Haaland is so cool. And I hope, do we know enough about Haaland to know we're not going to have a milkshake duck situation here where we get all excited about him and we fall in love with him, and then it turns out that he's problematic?
I haven't seen anything. I hope that's not the case.
Because we know enough about him, right? He's famous enough that we would know if he's problematic.
It would be out already for sure. Correct.
Right. Because he's hysterically funny. Did you see the stuff with the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots?
No.
In Dallas, where he goes to the Western store. You got to see that too.
Right, I'll find it.
And everybody impersonating him. Have you seen the woman that works at the aquarium that looks a little bit like him that does his walk? And she juts out her jaw and sticks her neck out and does the whole Holland thing.
That's funny.
There's songs about him. There's animations about him.
Did you see the Nike commercial for him?
I don't know.
From the goalie perspective, like the 5 stages of.
No.
Oh yeah. So I just sent it to you. I sent it to your phone so you can watch it when we're done. It's really funny.
And his just the ball comes off his foot like a cannon shot. It's just incredible. And he's enormous, and he's faster than all but 3 people in the NFL. He would be the 4th fastest person in the NFL.
So I'll be pulling for Norway to beat England on Saturday, and then Argentina to beat Switzerland.
Because Harry Kane.
I want to watch. Norway
Kane?
and Argentina. Yes.
Okay. You want to watch Holland against Messi?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, but I can't get enough of him.
Plus, that's 2 good uniforms too. That's a good uniform matchup as well.
Yeah, one of my neighbors put out a big Norway flag. I saw that.
Are they Norwegian?
I don't know. I went by on the way to work today, and it's right there off of Waveland, and he's got a big old Norway flag on the bungalow. I'm like, okay, maybe he just likes Holland or likes Erling Holland, not the country of Holland.
No, he didn't have the flag in his bunghole. What'd you say?
Bungalow.
Oh, bungalow.
No.
Okay. I was like, whoa.
That you must really like him.
Does he know Christopher Peden?
You're a big fan. Yes. And then you're hanging out. Next thing you're in Fort Wayne with your gas can and your 4 lighters.
Where are you putting that Norway flag? Oh, just wait. I'll show you.
Yeah, now I'm thinking if he was on the 4th lighter, how annoying that would be. They found 4 lighters for him to light his severed dick on fire.
The first 3 just sparked. They didn't.
Right. Damn it. God, I finally did it. I finally have achieved my lifetime goal of cutting off my dick and lighting it on fire. And one, shoot, that doesn't work. Let me get another one here. Wait a second.
Oh, that's a sponsorship waiting to happen for Bic.
Yeah, if you're arguing, light your dick with a Bic, right?
There you go.
There you go.
You'll light every time. Yes.
Hi, I'm Dick Lighter for Bic Lighters. Here's my friend Christopher Peden or Pedden.
Also
a
dick lighter.
Yeah, also a dick lighter.
Yes.
Wasn't that James Bond's guy Felix Leiter? And you got Mark Leiter, you got Al Leiter, you got Mark Leiter Jr.
Yep.
And now we've got Dick Lighter. Probably somewhere in the Leiter family. There's I'm sure, I guarantee you, there's somebody related to Al and Mark Jr. There's a Dick Lighter in that lineage somewhere.
Lots of smokers in that family.
God,
have you we watched a little bit of a stand-up last night, a show. Have you ever heard of oh man, what is his name? I texted Tannehill about it.
He knows all about stand-up guys.
Yeah, Derek Stroop.
No,
Derek
nothing.
Stroop. There's a special on Netflix. It's very I'd never heard of him before.
Does he wear his hat sideways?
No. He's not like Pedro.
Okay.
He's very funny though. He's a dude from Alabama. He has a whole bit about how we need to bring cigarettes back and smoking back.
Is this
the world was a better place when we smoked?
Is this like the Seinfeld bit about the best reason to have the cigarette is when you win an argument after pointing with it, when you step on it, the argument.
No. It's just original content about how it made the world better and saved a lot of like family holidays, and it's really funny bit. But he was very, very funny. You should check it out.
Okay, I will. I have been on an Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Kick lately.
Yeah,
he's really funny. Yeah. And he constructs these jokes nicely. They're paraproctosian jokes. Is that the right word? Like
sure.
Emo Phillips, or it's a joke that takes you in one direction and then twists at the end to something unexpected or inverted or subversive, and he's really good at it. And
yeah, he's got a very unique delivery and tone for sure. I like him.
Well, this has been a lovely, fun show. This is
story of the year, man. I'm telling you,
story of the year.
This is the story of the year.
It's not going away. It is not going away. And
it easily trumped the guy who died of a heart attack after murdering his girlfriend, which was I thought that was in contention for story of the year.
Yeah, that was very Coen Brothers.
But this has surpassed that by a lot.
Yeah,
this is the number one story.
Can we get him on the show?
If we can do if they'll allow it like in prison, sure.
Yeah.
Like a video call, a Zoom from prison.
Yeah, just see how he's doing. I imagine the answer is bad.
How do you How do you like go pee now? How do you do that? How does that work?
Imagine it messes with your aim. It's like a sawed-off shotgun, right?
So it just sprays everywhere.
Yeah, that's the whole point of sawing off a shotgun is because the pattern.
I know, I get that. I've never correlated that to cutting off your penis though, and how that would impact.
Yeah, right. You're the cloud is the cloud of shot is bigger.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got to be a shower guy now to pee. You can't trust the aim on a toilet or a urinal.
Yeah, you don't want to be next to him at a Bears game
or in the shower.
And you're like, what the hell? Dude, sorry. It's like, what do you want from me, man? I had a bad day. I had a rough one
in the shower, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask him. We've got a lot of unanswered questions. So on our list of unanswered questions, we have to find out about a PCA's pants.
What's in them?
No.
Oh, what about them?
My bad. What about them or what's with them? Yes.
My bad.
We need to find out whether or not Sam Antonacci's family comes from the same place near Bari where your family comes from and where Tino Antonacci's family comes from.
And if we're all related.
If you're all related.
Yep.
So we're gonna work back on that. We got a lot of open questions here, and we will bring you the answers on Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. We have been brought to you by Chicago Window Guys, 847-302-9171, ChicagoWindowGuys.com.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.